Right. Hello and welcome. This is the first episode of the Grouse podcast. I'm Finn Byrne and this is my partner.
I'm actually Nick Glass. Yep, that's me.
And so we've decided to put up this podcast, and some of you may know why it's come to this. But first off, just a bit about us. Two nudgy boys, just trying to get it right. Probably get it wrong a couple times over this. We don't really know where it's going to end up. Or if this could just be our only episode and then we give up on it completely. But currently, currently we're in the Mazda Bravo, which is my car. It's average. It's not the best, but it's our first ever filming spot. It's our first ever episode. So
yeah, pleased to be here. Actually, yeah, it's been a rough couple of days with the old COVID lockdown. It's a bit of a tough pill to swallow, if you will.
Yeah, so I think the COVID lockdown will probably be the main topic of this, and then also because we kind of want to tie ends with footy with most of our conversations, although we'll usually span off from that. COVID lockdown will affect the footy season in the GPS and probably everywhere else. And over the weekend we saw a number of games cancelled, didn't we, Glassy?
Yeah, we saw BBC Terrace cancelled, State High Grammar cancelled, Toowoomba and Nudgee cancelled, Ipswich and Churchie cancelled. A few very interesting fixtures have gone under the wrath of COVID. Would have been a good game against Terrace for BBC. Terrace obviously being undefeated, and BBC losing to Nudgee last week. Yeah, that would have been a good game. Nudgee Toowoomba would have also been a good game. They always put on a bit of a show up the range, and would have been an interesting game.
I think, yeah, definitely on that topic, Nick, with the Terrace versus BBC. Last week we saw BBC take a very close loss. Almost they probably could have won it if the game went on for a bit longer, but also Nudgee could have put a bit more points on them. It was still up in the air, missing some lethal players, losing that Zach Hoff kid about, 20 minutes in
yeah,
or so?
I think he did an ankle, something like that.
Yeah, and they were missing the majority of their spine, which we find is a bit of a problem with Taj and Nan. Running border right alongside the Nudgee bench, and definitely from the grandstand there were a couple comments his way.
Topping a bit of stick there, as the grandstand is actually known for. Yep.
But yeah, so we saw missing that spine, then we saw their 9 move to 12, which you wouldn't usually see in a first 15 fixture game, but we happened to see it last week where
Perron moved to 12, which was a bit interesting. He did alright for a bit there, and had to defend a few good centres, being Rob Toyer. He was good as always. Yeah,
2 tries for that man right there, and I think putting a 9 at 12 is something you'd usually do in the 15Cs, but I feel like Perron did actually fill those boots.
He did
for the game, for a big game, which probably could be the biggest game of the season. Depends what happens in the latter half of it. With some more big games coming up for both the sides, both teams, BBC and Nudgee, which were probably the favourites going in, and I think TSS was probably following just shortly behind him. And I think that would be, depending on what does happen with their 10, 9, 12 sort of situation, could kind of depict on who kind of takes the win against TSS for that game. But yeah, no, so that's just a little bit of a sticky beacon, what we probably will get onto later in the show or podcast, as you would say.
Yeah.
But first of all, the Grouse. Now, that is what we're going for. That's the franchise name. Something that you probably have heard a bit of around, probably not just the schoolyards, but on the streets. It's a pretty Australian term. And it pretty much just means bloody unreal, how good.
It's awesome, yeah. So, really, it can be applied to anything, really. Like, bit of a grouse day, you're a grouse bloke. Like, I'd consider myself a grouse bloke.
Yeah. I'm pretty grouse today, even though it's lockdown. I'm having a grouse feeling, but even a bit of eggs for brekkie on a Sunday morning after a big night, you'd probably say that's pretty grouse. So that's right. That. While we're doing it, some of you will probably know why we're doing it. Probably won't say that over here. Over the
bit of a Bit of grey area, if you will.
Bit of grey area, yeah. But I'll bet the room will get around while we actually are doing it. But yeah, we also just want to bring a couple of laughs, see if it gets out. Like the first one will probably, this will be pretty shit. We'll probably just end up rambling on. I doubt there'll be
definitely
any
definitely
big listeners after this one here. But we're just going to give it a red hot crack. So pretty much at the moment in the world, the big things are the Olympics.
Yeah, that was that's good watching actually during lockdown. Not much on, not much footy, all that being cancelled. Yeah, I was just watching the high jump last night and saw Mitchy Stark's brother actually. He came 4th or 5th. He jumped pretty well. Yeah.
I think it's interesting. Speaking of him being related to Mitch Stark, this kid can jump. Pretty much over most people's bloody back fences.
Yeah, apart from Voss Sandic.
But what we do find is that his brother's making about 20 million a year, bloody going over to India.
Yeah, in the IPL. Yeah, that's
and his
pretty
brother makes absolute zero money for jumping over bars. So he's probably pulled the short straw in that respect. Short straw in that respect. But it's pretty rough for the young fella.
Pretty amazing family though, when you think about it.
Yeah.
Test cricketer, bloody Olympic high jumper. Jeez, that dad's doing something right, isn't he?
He must have found the right one. I reckon it reminds me of my family.
Oh yeah.
Third 15 child.
Yeah.
And I've got a sister as well. So
she
hasn't really.
You do have a sister, don't you, Finn?
Yeah. Anyways, Nick. So yeah, GPS rugby. So as Nick stated, the games we missed out on last week did have a bit of effect, but the question that we do have to ask with COVID is, what's the go going to be?
Exactly right. So we got the table as it stands. Nudgy, of course, on top with the points differential. Obviously, they've got the same amount of points as Terrace, also on top. So as it stands, if COVID does take its toll on the season, Nudgy and Terrace will be a bit of a tied premiership, so that'll be interesting.
But that is with the GPS rules.
It is.
Because if you go for the actual points differential, you find that Nudgy's on a solid 35, GT on 21, BBC on 13, which then leads into pretty much the next question, being what's the go there? Because there wouldn't have been, Nudgy only actually scored two more points than BBC in that game. Meaning that Toowoomba is a much bigger threat than everyone thought of, and that is who Nudgy missed out on this week.
Exactly.
So, them playing that game, Nudgy versus Toowoomba, would that change the listings? I think Nudgy probably would have got the win, and that's out there, because am I right in saying BBC beat him 32-20?
I think it's around that kind of scoreline there.
Yeah, so Toowoomba are in the negative, and they're coming second on the table currently, and they're negative 16. So clearly BBC got the right job done there. But what we do find is BBC themselves are sitting on not really as strong, but a 13.
Yeah, exactly.
Compared to another threat that I think could actually be the underdogs of the season if the season ends up getting extended on and all games get played is Churchy. Now,
Churchy, that is it. They're a bit of a wild card this year. Look, I was having a quick glance at the list after round 1, and I'm thinking, like, gee whiz, there's a few odd names in this lineup. Like, how are they going to go this season? But they've actually they've done really well actually in the past few weeks. The chemistry must be really up there. The coach,
he's doing something right.
He's doing something right. They must have had a really good pre-season. Like in previous years, they've always been alright, but they've never been up there after Kalen Ponga's year, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I guess that is, it has been pretty quiet from that school, but hearing the word around the street and stuff, they're putting together some pretty decent footy, which means I think from the Grouse podcast perspective, I think, well, also in this episode, I forgot to say it before, we're going to predict our winners, and both being Nudgy kids, I guess that's pretty obvious who we're going to pick there.
Yeah.
Who's going to be the biggest opponents for us, and also
exactly right.
Who's our underdogs. So I think I'm going to pick for underdog, definitely Churchy. I reckon I don't know if they'll have the win in them, but I definitely think they're going to do a lot better than everyone was expected, and that's what I mean with underdog. If they end up winning it, I'll be pretty happy with this call right now, but I think they've actually got a pretty decent outfit this year.
They do, yeah.
And they're putting together good footy, just watching bits and bobs of their games. They're doing quite well. And then I reckon in a strong second for underdog is Terrace. You know, they had
3 wins in a row. Oh, 2 wins in a row.
2 wins in a row.
No, clean sheet. Geez, they I was saying before, like, their list, it's not up there with the best of the GPS, but it's doing the job.
But I think with that Gregory Terrace side is what you won't see compared to other schools is that they got some naturally talented kids there.
They do, yeah, they do.
And they're actually playing some great footy. I know, well, Campbell King.
Yeah, prospect.
A mate of mine, bit of a tosser, but somehow he's pulled his head out since he used to go to Nudgee. He's a bit of an idiot.
No, a few bit of a grey area that him leaving Nudgee. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. No, Kingo. He's playing great footy over there, and then they're led by Joe Liddy, also a bit of a mate from Terrace, and he didn't play the trial match against Nudgee, but I think, judging by the scoreline and what they're doing now, they may have actually missed him out there on the field. Definitely leading the pack out there, and he'll be a bit of a backbone in that forward pack, marching them around.
And also being captain, you know, you are going to miss them in those smaller trial games.
Definitely.
Where, you know, it doesn't really count, but it gives you a bit of insight to the season.
Yeah. And back on with Churchy, like, we know that their first 15 are going to be a pretty strong outfit this year, but it's a bit of a grey area if that it's going to translate into the lower opens teams. Like for us, Bernie, the thirds, like the Churchy thirds, I'm not sure how they're going to go, just quietly.
Yeah, well, I guess if we're going to bring the mighty thirds into it, I would say the Underdogs, the favourites, and the biggest threats would just be Nudgee.
Yeah, just all of them, really. Like, yeah, exactly right. That's just silly.
That's just a laugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the biggest opponents, obviously Nudgee's already pretty much taking care of one.
Yep.
And then also for BBC's biggest opponents, they've already had that happen to them. Yep. So I think the next big thing for both those two favoured schools in the comp is TSS, which have seemed to be a very big upset for both these schools 2 years, last year and the year before with, I think, BBC each year, they've, in that second half of their game, they've just come out like an absolute, like a team just possessed.
Yeah.
We saw it on the weekend against Nudgee, against Nudgee, and like they just wouldn't let us get through, and we had some of our bigger runners, and the blokes would usually find get through, but the defense was just sound, and their attack was better. But I think the Nudgee defense just barely let him get a sniff. They were in the half for solid, like felt like 50 minutes up in the grandstand for the blokes playing. It would have felt like they were in their half for about half a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Willem Johnson throwing the old forward pass, which I guess
exactly right.
The Nudgee boys were definitely grateful for. A couple of pats on the back for that.
The old forward pass. Just a shout out to Willem.
Probably don't do that again, mate. Yeah.
In rugby union, at least. Passes actually do have to go backwards, so keep that in mind for the next game, mate.
And yeah, I guess you would have thought doing 2 years in school you'd end up getting
exactly.
You'd have that sort of knowledge, but
exactly.
I guess
I think that that year off because of the injury, maybe lost a bit of game awareness there last year.
Yeah. Might just throw a quick forward pass and see if he can get away with it.
Yeah. Obviously not. The refs
The refs look out for
the refs doing his job.
They look out for the old forward passes.
Yep.
Now, speaking more, we've talked about a lot of schools, but it's time to speak about our school.
Yeah.
The Big NC. Nick, who do we think is the deadliest player on the field this year for Nudgee?
I think there's a few. There's definitely a few, but can't go past Rob Toyer, really.
Yeah.
Seriously,
he's the knight in shining armour for Nudgee.
He has been a threat for a
week
few
in,
years
week
now.
out.
Gee whiz. I've seen this bloke grow since year 9. Hasn't really grown, but grown mentally, grown into a great individual and a great ambassador for the podcast.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully, gives this one a share, Robbie. That would be appreciated because I think in our previous business venture, Robbie definitely gave us a lot of
got around that one,
subscribers and likes for that. But no, anyways, I would probably have to agree with you there.
Yeah, definitely.
I did have hopes for the mate Chaz to be a bit more of a
threat on the field.
But we saw him take the relaxed approach in the BBC game. I think the nerves probably would have got the best for him.
Definitely.
due to him playing a solid season in the 16Bs last year.
Yeah,
Was it 16Bs last year he played?
Yeah, well, he got dropped and said he did his knee, but
Yeah,
no,
so
I don't think that's the case there.
you know
Chaz.
what I mean. It's one of those things, you know. Your knee's all right, but you get dropped to the B, so your knee's broken. Sort of thing.
That's a classic on that one.
No, I think definitely in his first game against State High, he had an absolute blind. He was running, he was tackling. I reckon I would have seen him make about 5 tackles, and then the BBC almost looked like he went to sleep. But
yeah.
I don't know, so I'm still loving the blonde.
So I'm just having a look at the GPS First 15 Team of the Week posted by the Queensland GPS Rugby page on Instagram. I've got Byron Smith here at number 10. And a comment in the comment section by Hunter Lim. 10 needs rethinking. What do you reckon about that?
Well, I don't know. I think, as we said before, Taj was playing 10 forward when the windows up.
Put the windows up, yeah. Bit of a breeze around.
You know what it's like, guys. That's going to get hot quick, isn't it?
That'll be right. I don't mind.
I think it'll get hot pretty quick.
That'll be right.
No, we'll see what happens. No, but I think the Battle of the Tens was pretty much missed out on this year. Definitely, it's getting hot. I'll put this down.
Yeah, right.
The Battle of the Tens definitely was going to be in that Nudgy versus BBC game. Definitely. I know that, you know, as much as those TSS boys would like to think that Cyrus kid's got something, I just think watching his game, me and Glassy went down and watched the Queensland game.
Yeah, down at East
Rugby Club. Probably
good watching, really good watching.
Shocking field, just to the people from East who are watching.
Some of Queensland's best. Hitting it out on a
and Willem Johnson
Sunday afternoon. And Willem Johnson, exactly.
Big shout out to Will Cartwright though. I think he should have been 9 in the A grade team.
Definitely.
Should have been 9 this year. I wish he repeated, to be honest with you.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's a good bloke and he laughs. Yeah, exactly. I don't think we've seen a smile on Willem's face.
Yeah, he does
since
actually smile. Yeah, that's
he got dropped from the A's in under 15s.
Yeah, there you go.
I think that would be, I reckon, why the smile stays off Willem's face.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Just a bit of a segue. About Willem Johnson talking about terrible blokes. I've had a few bit of a personal story here. I've had a few terrible blokes try and break into my home on a late Saturday evening. Yeah, a bit of a shocking one actually. It was my mother home alone.
That's not good.
And a few
Eshays.
Adelaide blokes, Eatswell lads, decided to try and come through my back door. My mum actually scared them off, surprisingly.
How did she scare them off, Nick?
I think she just said a few naughty words and off they went. And I've actually heard some intel from the Queensland Police that they caught one of them and he was 12 years of age. What do you reckon about that?
Well, I guess 12, right? So that's a bit 12. Of a you don't really know how to take that. You know, it's either the bringing up, you know.
Yeah, gee whiz.
Or he's just trying to be somebody he's not, and I think. Yeah, it's a bit
Yeah, and he was actually arrested.
A bit random. Wasn't expecting that question.
He was arrested that same night,
arrested at 12.
Yeah, no, detained in the station.
Oh right.
At 12, yeah, because he had illegal drugs on him, and a knife. So who knows? He could have actually done some harm to my family, which would be a bit of a shame, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Well, I think that I guess with lockdown coming into play, kids are getting a bit more bored. You'll find the naughty kids kind of looking for something to do.
Yeah, exactly.
In a sense, yeah. Any other funny stories you want to pre-shows, Nick? Some blokes just right.
Oh, here he is. He's having a bit of a kick, is he?
It's Finn Mitchell.
What?
It's Finn Mitchell.
Oh, there you go. It's a nice song.
That's all.
Any other funny stories?
Any Corona stories?
Yeah, no, just been spending my my long nights just watching just a bit of Outer Banks.
I think Outer Banks. Oh, and that's another big one. Why we've actually decided to do the podcast and summon of it. And once again, guys, I know this is going to be pretty average in respects. Like you're probably just going to think these guys are idiots. But yeah, we pretty much came up with the idea yesterday.
Yep.
And we're here now, so like I guess it's pretty pronto in a sense. But Outer Banks, we kind of I'd personally jammed it out
Yeah,
12
I think
hours.
I got through it. Yeah, in a couple of long days.
Like it wasn't much of a struggle to actually get
No,
through
it's
Outer
pretty
Banks.
very easy watching. And
What would you say? How would you rate the show? The second season of Outer Banks? 'Cause I don't know if I was too much of a fan. I feel like
Yeah,
they were trying a bit more hard.
Yeah,
The
definitely.
first one just felt organic as.
Yeah, I love the first one. I love the storyline, the characters. They were really just really good to watch. And then the second season, I dived straight into it, and I don't know how I feel about it. It was tough to follow, and just a bit too much was going on, a bit too quickly. It just seemed a bit rushed.
I'm still personally confused about what actually happened with the gold.
Yeah,
'Cause, like, it never
exactly
really
right. They never really
Looked
bit
like
of a bit of a cliffhanger there on the on the
we
last
still,
episode.
like the cross has been found, but the gold has not. Like the
Yeah,
gold
no,
is
no,
out of the
no,
picture.
exactly
Like I
right.
don't really like.
Might have to rewatch that.
You know what I
just
mean?
now, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like what happens with the gold
Yeah,
from now?
where does it go really? Like, gee whiz, bit of a grey area that.
Yeah. Anyway, so with Outer Banks now, pretty much everyone just smashing through that. Like,
Yeah, exactly right.
I think that there's another calling. There's something else that needs to
There
pop
needs
off,
to
and I'm not
be-
saying we're going to
yeah.
be the next Outer Banks. Like it'd be pretty tough, but like I think we can somehow influence the people to actually watch us just be idiots and
Yeah,
just talk about like stuff that actually doesn't really need to be talked about at all.
exactly. Yeah,
Like tonight, we'll probably throw this one up, and I'd love to get like a couple DMs.
yeah. Couple of fan interaction, bit of a few DMs.
And now, just before we get any further, we do have an Instagram account.
Yeah.
It's called the Grouse Pod because we wanted to make it Grouse, but that's taken by a person who has 0 followers.
Yeah,
so
a bit
I
of
don't know
a-
if we blow up enough, guys, maybe we could send Instagram that old
Exactly.
message and say, hey, we want that old
Yeah,
that blue little star thing with
and
the tick.
it's just a bit of a bit up in the air, this thought, but we're hoping if the old podcast kicks off a bit, we will be making a few t-shirts that
Yeah,
you and your family can
wear
around, yeah, and be a bit of an ambassador for the
the
franchise.
club, and make sure you just tell your mates about this as well, guys. But what was I going with that? I forgot what I was going to say, but it was something important, and that's all that
good.
really
Like,
matters.
that's just part of the podcast, really.
We're not always going to get it right.
No, but yeah, exactly. You might not always agree with us, but that's just all part of it, isn't it? What else have we got to talk about there, Bernie? Yeah, rightio, Bernie. Just back on the topic of COVID, I actually have a bit of a conspiracy sent in by one of the fans earlier yesterday.
Jack Haynes.
Yeah, no, Jack Haynes.
Jack Haynes.
Yeah, it was Jack Haynes.
It was Haynes.
So
So like, if this sounds stupid,
it's not
It's
coming
like-
from us. It's coming from.
we're just saying and talking about it like it is a genuine
Yeah.
conspiracy.
Well, it very well could be.
I reckon it could be.
There's a good
I-
point from
like,
Jack Haynes. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
so-
strawberry blonde, probably the most attractive strawberry blonde I have probably ever seen.
out there.
Yeah, definitely. So,
I think his formal invites are now closed as well.
yeah, he's actually.
We're not going to say her name in case
Not gonna say her name.
we don't want her to, be like, oh my god, he's actually.
Yeah, we don't want to be like,
invited
oh
me,
my
but-
god, I want to go with Glassy. Like, she's going with Hainsey. Like,
Yeah,
can't really do that. But
probably wouldn't want to go with me.
no. So yeah, that conspiracy is actually that. So the government, right, have actually like planned these lockdowns. So we're all inside, so they can replace the batteries in the birds in the sky, and those birds just watch everything. Those birds monitor everyone's everyday movements, and that's about it really. Like, not my conspiracy to further elaborate. You can talk to Jack Haynes about that, but
I think we can kind of further elaborate
unpack
this
it a
kind of
bit.
story.
You
Like,
can unpack it a bit.
if you think about it, like we're in a car park right now.
Yeah, down at the,
due to the restrictions.
down at the main Tigers football club. Yeah.
I actually I can't see a bird in the sky.
No,
Like,
exactly. Because
I can hear him.
Yeah, you can hear him
but
because-
I can't actually see one flying around.
No,
Like,
you
I'm
can-
actually looking. I'm kind of scanning.
yeah, no, you can't actually see them because you can hear them because they've planted speakers in the trees that play the bird noises to make you think that they're still out, but they're not. They're being replaced with more actual batteries.
And now, do you reckon that would be every single bird that kind of falls under this?
Every
bird, or like there'd have
Geez,
to be a couple real life birds.
gee
out
whiz,
there, surely.
it really depends on.
Oh, there's a bird right there.
No,
That one's flapping like normal, man.
No. It really
I don't know.
like if you think about it, every single bird on the earth, it could be controlled by someone or some sort of organisation trying to monitor you. Like, it's really a bit of a tough pill to swallow, a bit of a grey area, if you will.
I think the whole bird thing, like there'd have to be some sort of like actual birds flying around. If it was an actual.
Yeah, definitely. Even like pet birds. If you have a pet,
Yeah,
like a pet budgie.
He's got a pet bird. And it's,
maybe just
like
get that one checked out. But
look at its eyes and stuff.
Yeah, that's a bit of an interesting one. That when you
I think
when you think about it,
from Hainsey, that's
That's good,
I didn't know his brain would have that capacity to kind of
No,
come up
it's
with
a
that.
bit
I don't know if he's actually come up with that one himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if he's
Exactly right. The more layers, the more you think about it, the more layers just unpack. Like, there's just so many different levels to that sort of deep statement.
I think on the conspiracy thing, like there is actually a couple conspiracies out there that people could actually be on realistic sort of things.
Yeah, definitely.
And ones
definitely.
that we're not going to probably get fully involved with today is that whole Madeleine McCain,
Yeah,
the whole
I
Jeffrey
actually,
Epstein Island. Like, I
gee
know
whiz.
stuff about it. I don't know.
No,
Like, I
I've
want to
actually-
do more
yeah.
research.
I used to be pretty deeply invested in that kind of stuff, and the thought that Hillary Clinton kills babies, that's a whole new concept to wrap your head around. That's one for the viewers to
Sort of look into.
think about and look into.
Like, who
Yeah,
knows,
definitely.
By the end
Definitely.
of this week, we could end up having another one up on that and divide
Yeah.
the whole conversation to it. We'd have to probably be sitting down, not in a car where you have decent access to computers and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I reckon that could be a bit of a road to go down with some of the potties. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
guys, we have no idea where this is actually going to end up. Like, if it
We could.
we'll try and do write-ups on different things around Brisbane, take the piss a bit. We're going to try and put a bit more of a leash on this.
We just got to. Yeah. It's gotta
Leash
be,
on this business venture.
Just got to be relatively
and not
careful with
stupid.
what we say on in front of the camera.
Yeah, I think that's a big one, especially for this podcast. But yeah, I think the COVID thing is taking a toll on definitely students in year 12, probably not
Definitely.
and probably year 11 as well. I know the Nudgy boys have just missed out on their semi-formal. I think it's next week.
That's a bit of a shame. That
I was looking forward to the post.
Oh yeah, exactly right.
I was probably going to rock up uninvited.
Yeah, ATAR has actually been quite affected by this new lockdown.
Well, we
now
missed out on
extended.
our IA for math.
IA3 exam for mathematics.
I'm
generally.
keen because that was today, so we would be at school, buddy.
Yeah,
sweating it.
sweating the old
The mathematics.
Yeah. It's been affected, especially with this new lockdown being extended until Sunday. That's a bit of a
A doozy, I reckon.
yeah, a bit of a bummer that.
Probably one way to put it is it's an absolute doozy.
Not the
I think.
grouse, if you will.
It's non-grouse. That's something we need to say more, actually.
Yeah, it's non-grouse, isn't it?
But something that could be grouse, could be pretty non-grouse, is Schoolies being canned.
Yeah,
So
gee whiz.
we had this conversation on the day when we got kicked out of boarding. Not kicked out of boarding, sorry. That could lead to a couple of rumours being spread.
Yeah, no.
We've already had a couple about us.
Didn't
In
get kicked
recent
out of boarding,
times, we
no.
didn't get kicked out of boarding, but we had the opportunity to leave to go home for the lockdown, and we can't go back in. So to clear up that little grey area, we're still grousing in boarding. It's all good.
Definitely.
We're just home for the lockdown, so we don't get pinged for. So we don't just stay in boarding with, pretty much
Yeah, and
bulging our eyes out.
just
But
do
anyways,
stupid stuff. Yeah.
me and Glassy were talking, what is the actual go going to be with Schoolies? Will it go through? Like, honestly, if it's anything like New South Wales, probably not. What's the
definitely.
alternative?
Gee
and I
whiz.
think,
It's
it's kind of up
it's
to
a tough one, like-
whole. It's kind of up. I think with Schoolies, definitely it would be up to the people, like majority of kids to decide. And I think last year, knowing some of the seniors, some of them went Sunny Coast, some of them went Rainbow Beach.
Yeah, Sunny Coast, Noosa sort of thing.
Yes.
I know I've heard a few reports that from the Noosa locals that actually went really well. The Noosa schoolies was they actually were really well behaved there.
You taking this?
No, I'm being serious.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard a few think they were actually really well behaved.
You're a Noosa local, are you?
No, I just know a few up there.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
yeah.
No, I don't know anyone up there. Who Pearso?
Oh yeah, no, he'd be a bit of a local, wouldn't he? No, he reckons he is, but he's not. Yeah, so Noosa would be the alternative, I'd say, but you'd hope that the Gold Coast Schoolies
I hope it goes
does
through.
go ahead. I mean, gee whiz, it's what all all people dream for, really. A week of
Just
anything really, like
getting on the grouse stuff, I guess.
Exactly
doing,
right.
Doing fun stuff with your mates. Probably go on a cheeky trip down to Wet n Wild during the day, eh? Maybe at night.
Yeah, no,
Who knows
just
what you
yeah.
get up
I
to
might
there.
I think I might book a bit of a 4-day pass and just go every day.
Yeah, I've already bought a family pass for White Water World, Movie World, and SeaWorld. So shout out to those guys. Cheers for that. Cheers for hooking up the grouse.
Not a direct sponsor, but
guys,
something
if you want
to
to
look
sponsor
into.
us, probably do it because we
Yeah,
love White Water World.
Exactly right. White Water World is
White
a
Water
great
World.
place, and I've actually
love White
booked.
Water World.
You love it?
I love it.
Yeah, fair
It's
enough.
unreal there. It's amazing.
Yeah, I probably won't drink at Schoolies.
Oh, that's sort of a good one. That was pretty dumb.
No, I don't think I will.
No, all right. Formal dates.
Yeah,
What sort of person? This is great for me. This is on the spot, Glassy. Like, we're not going to list names and we're not going to list people, but like, are you taking a mate, a chick you like, someone that you used to like, or used to date? Like, what are your thoughts on all those sort of things? Because we find blokes, like, where's the old Penathy? Like, you find blokes usually in these oh, by the way, boys, if you ever see us writing down stuff, we got the Grouse podcast booklet here.
Yeah, that's it.
We got a couple notes here where we just, read some stuff off.
Yeah, exactly.
Clearly we didn't write a lot down. That is why this is average.
Yeah, exactly.
This won't be our best podcast that we do, and once we do a couple
it is,
of them, I
it
guess
is,
it'll be easy. So what do we got here? We got used to like, spelled used to wrong.
Yep.
Used to like.
These sort of podcasts, they're very organic. Like we've only written down probably 5 or 6 things that we're going to talk about, and we cover that in the first 10 minutes. So we're just organic. Just whatever comes to the mind is spoken.
Right,
really.
so speaking of formal, thanks for talking while I was writing that shit down. Righto. So the 3 ones that we find most blokes kind of go for is the ex-misso.
Yeah, that's right.
The wannabe misso.
Yep. That's a bit of a grey area.
The mate.
Yeah, that's always a classic. Yeah.
And I didn't write this down, but
your mate's cousin. That's a bit of a grey area.
That's mate's
Chaz?
cousin.
Chaz. Yeah. So
that I think could be directed at someone.
Definitely
anyways,
not anyone in particular though.
No. Chaz. Anyways, and then also current
misso. That's look, if you're not taking her, look, I don't really know.
That is questionable. I think if you're not
doing.
taking, if you got a miss on, you're not taking her. I actually don't know really.
Yeah, exactly.
That is probably one of the strangest. That is something I'd expect from a bloke like Jack Moses.
Unless she's got COVID.
Unless she has COVID.
Yeah,
but who would you take? I remember. Was it last year when Moses was considering taking? Sorry guys, had a bloody storage issue on the old phone. Anyways, so still on the formal topic, as we said before, if you've forgot or you get a bit confused to why the angle's changed or whatnot, used to like, so old misso, wannabe misso, a mate's cousin for Chaz, and current misso.
Yeah.
We finished off with Moses is probably the only bloke we know that probably wouldn't take his misso just because he's strange and does these weird things that
just to be a bit different.
No one really knows why he does this sort of stuff. From another school, and you got a mate who needs a spray, who needs probably pull his head out a bit. Throw them in the comments. Go to the Instagram page, DM us. We're not going to be like one of those accounts that don't actually reply to DMs.
Yeah.
Because unless we actually blow up and end up like bloke in the bar,
which we probably will.
Yeah. I think. That goes without saying.
It's pretty much a given.
Who knows? Like 3 years from now, you're making our own beers, Grouse beers.
Yeah. Oh
Bloody,
wow.
Like the Nelk
That's
boys,
definitely a thought.
That's actually a great idea. But that would take
it's
a bit more time.
It's a shame I don't drink.
Yeah, I guess that's a big one.
It's maybe my dad would like it, something like that.
Yeah, I'd have to be the sole taster. Might take Chaz. Also, if you got a mate who wants to come on the show, you want to come on the show and we actually know you, or even if we don't know you, like, could be pretty interested in talking to some random bloke. We'd love to get a couple first players from not just Nudgy on the show, but we could
even do a podcast over Zoom or Skype.
That'd be alright.
With people that obviously in lockdown we can't really do this sort of thing with everyone, but Yeah, the Zoom conference definitely could be a bit of a
go-to.
Yeah.
But in saying that, boys, we're not here to like talk shit, although like there will be shit talked, I guess.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
we are like here for predominantly a bit of a piss take and having a laugh, and also just speaking how we find it is. And as we said before, we're not always going to be right. Like sometimes it is going to be biased, because at the end of the day, you guys will know what school we support. But if you go to another school, you play a bit of first or seconds, or you're coming off the bench, for either of those teams, feel free to throw us a bloody
exactly.
We'd actually enjoy getting you on the show, hearing from another school's perspective who they reckon their biggest threats are, what their training programs are like. We probably won't put that on the podcast. We'll just write it down and give it straight to Andrew Scotney, the Nugget's first coach.
Yeah, definitely.
But
not sponsored by Andrew Scotney or anything, but
if he wants to sponsor us,
that's
that would
definitely
be pretty grouse.
Definitely have thought that.
So yeah, back on the formal sort of conversation show we keep on spanning off, but I think that's how most of these are going to go.
Yeah.
Nick, what are your thoughts on the used to like, the old misso, old fling, old friend sort of? You definitely had a relationship sort of chick.
Yeah.
Where's your head at?
I have to be very very vague or general here, because I could land myself in some hot water.
I think everyone could with this sort of conversation.
But I just don't, the old ex sort of thing with the formal, I just don't really it's a bit of a weak option. I think people say if they're doing it and then their mates start having a go, like, and they say, oh no, it's just a bit just easy, like, is it really easy, mate? Like,
it'd probably be easier to take
with the ex misso, like, gee whiz, you can't get much.
Like, could you do
weirder than that, really?
Like, I think it does come down to the whole terms and conditions of the breakup.
Yeah.
If you had a pretty easy breakup, if you had one of those breakups where you're still seeing each other each Wednesday after school to get a halal snack pack or an ice cream.
Or a Slurpee.
If
you will.
Not sponsored by 7-Eleven, but if you'd like to.
Yeah, definitely.
Hit us up with no free slurp. So yeah, I think ex-misso, same thing kind of goes. Probably don't know if I'd go down that path.
Are you sure?
Probably not.
Yeah.
That's pretty dog. See how, like, I didn't say that to you.
Yeah. No,
you've decided to say it to me.
I'm just making sure that you're sure.
Okay. Anyways, on to the next one. Now, like, I think this is probably the most common.
Yeah, definitely.
Blokes usually go out and say, hey, look, can you come to my formal? In most occasions, a chick probably wants nothing to do with them. They could be just done. There's always that chick that or girl, as I might say for the female viewers. There's always that girl that would just say yes to the formal invite just to be at the nudgy formal. Like, it's a big event. Well, most chicks would.
Yeah, but
I like getting dressed up. Like,
yeah, definitely.
I think it's a bit of fun, and they get to do their makeup.
There's always the girls.
You can see why the girls would love to go.
There's always the girls that take that invitation the wrong way and just sort of.
And you got a old mate.
It.
You got a old mate in the corner. He just wants to.
He's just like,
he just wants to love you, but you leave her to the. And she's not really talking to you. She's having her own sort of night, which I can see would be pretty heartbreaking. But I think that probably, I reckon I'd say the most common. Definitely for blokes, and sometimes for chicks.
Definitely.
And then other times for girls. I think you do see a couple girls going around actually not like taking dates just because they don't want blokes getting the wrong idea. Exactly. That's another one actually.
Exactly.
The old not taking anyone because you don't want to give off the wrong idea. If you know a couple of the boys at most schools probably do, there are desired by the ladies. There's a couple good lookers getting around. Brizzy, Chaz.
Not Willem Johnson. Not Willem Johnson.
But Chaz. God,
yeah,
Jesus.
Wow.
He's a good looking bloke. And so is Boydie. I think it goes without saying, Oscar Boyd. The pocket rocket. The pocket rocket.
Yeah.
The pocket rocket of Nudgy. I don't think anyone was expecting him to be as good as he is, but
he loves a try. He loves a try.
A
try. He loves a try.
You're getting that right this time, aren't you, Nick?
Yep, I am.
Previous situations, which not many of you will know about, but I'll let the stories get to you. Boys, let's try and not make them up this time. But definitely, your better looking blokes and your better looking chicks sometimes won't go out the invite just because they don't want people getting the wrong idea. But then also leads us on to our next one. you usually find the better looking blokes and chicks, or the blokes that just have no actual idea what to do with themselves. I find myself in that situation.
Exactly, yeah.
They take the mate.
Yeah.
And that is
that's a big one.
That is a big. I think it's probably the easiest one.
It definitely is.
Actually, well, probably taking the current misso. If you're not going through any problems.
Also, there's also a bit of another one, the family friend.
Family friend.
That's
big.
That's another one.
That's big. I would probably put that in mate category, or would you say it's its own category?
Because sometimes you'd find the family friend you don't often speak to outside family like events. So the family friend definitely is driven by the parents, obviously.
Yeah, well, always. When you're younger, you always hear the parents saying, "Oh, if you go to park drinks or something." I found myself in this situation. Young lady lived down the road, same grade and whatnot. First thing the mum said, "Well, that's formal sorted."
Yeah, wow.
I haven't spoken to her since that.
Yeah,
evening.
well, if you're watching,
hey,
Finn Byrne.
What's up? Don't have a formal date. Nick does.
Yeah,
not saying the name.
No, probably not.
Not out there, but. We'll let the comments fire up.
Not Stacky's cousin. That's not my formal cousin.
Date. No, is it someone's? No, it's not mine.
It's not Finn's.
It's not mine. But I don't have one, so who knows, Chaz.
Right.
Anyways, next comment, next topic, sorry, is mate's cousin. I think enough's been said about this.
Yeah, it's a bit of a grey area.
Is he your mate if you're taking her?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly right. Like,
is he your mate?
We were having this conversation, I think, just yesterday with
before the old lockdown with Chaz.
With Chaz,
but I think there's been a lot of heat on Chaz.
Yep.
So let's just take it off him for a bit. Mate's cousin, where's your head at, lads? Whip that one down in the comments, or post her on the Instagram. Once again, love the DMs. But what do you think on the mate's cousin to a formal? I'm being serious. That's actually not a piss take.
No, we need some feedback here because it could actually decide whether or not the mate's cousin does come to the Nudgy formal.
Well, I think another thing on the cousins thing is if you're taking another bloke's cousin, he goes to another school. You're not really mates. You know of each other. There could be previous beef there. It could be flat. You don't really know each other. Does the cousin, the bloke cousin, have the right to get G'd up, or does the chick cousin that's, her friend's taking the boy, is there a right to get G'd up?
Yeah. Oh, I don't really see the
If it's close issue. Mates, I can almost see it.
Yeah, exactly.
And if things have been said and done, I can almost see it.
Yep, definitely.
But I think that's enough for that, Chaz.
Yeah.
And then finally, we have the current misso. This is stock standard.
Yeah, it's
once
just
again,
a bit of a given.
I think with year 12, you do find there's not as many current missos flying around.
Yeah, nearing the Schoolies event.
The old Schoolies predicament of do we stay together or not. Yeah. But
you'll find me pretty active in the Schoolies Facebook group chat.
Yeah, also good laugh if you're looking for a bit of a laugh. Get down to the comments. Glass has been ripping them.
Been on fire actually in the Facebook 2021 Schoolies, the big group with everyone going to Schoolies there.
I haven't been saying any funny things.
No.
We'll let you guys try and work that out. We're not going to tell you why. Legal reasons. No, I'm kidding. Not legal reasons, but
just Facebook banned reasons.
So that's something we're not going to say.
Yeah, be right.
Anyways, so that's that. The current misso, probably the easiest option for a bloke who has a misso, but this is a big one. I reckon that could be talked about in this situation. If you are taking the current misso, you're having a bit of a grey patch.
Yeah.
Could that be your final hurrah? Because I reckon at a formal, there is too much stress going around.
Exactly.
You got for a girl, you got your makeup, you got your hair. Dresses are not really known from experience.
Don't even want to think about the stuff that goes into that sort of preparation.
Well, from what I've heard, because I keep on getting bagged from a couple girls saying that bagged.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Bags from a couple girls.
Yeah.
Saying that I need to ask sooner or later because they need to book hair and whatnot.
Yeah.
So you can see. In terms of a relationship that's currently going, I reckon there's so much stress going around that day. The bloke usually has nothing less to care about except for that he wants to go to his mate's prees and he wants to go to the post and just have a great
have a good time. And you'll often find people that are in relationships looking to go to the formal, you find that they stick around just long enough to take that person to the formal, so they don't have to
that's big.
Don't have to deal with all that kind of jazz. But that is another one. They just break up with them after the formal, just so they've come.
That the girl or the bloke's trying to make it look like, oh, this could be the turnaround, this can make all the problems go away.
Yeah.
But then you get there, old mate, your bloke usually in most cases, unless he's the one that's bringing all the drama, could not care less.
Yeah.
Usually doesn't actually know that he's doing anything wrong, because, you know, blokes, we're not the smartest people.
Yeah.
And girls usually see it coming from a mile away, and I think in most cases they end up just being the decider. But then all the stress of all that coming onto one night, and that's when you end up parting ways.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think quite often the male will be meaning to have that big sort of chat and have a bit of a conversation with the partner, but they'll get to the formal and one of your best mates will be bloody doing backflips and smashing glasses and all that kind of jazz at the formal, and then before you know it, you've forgotten about it, and then you've woken up the next morning with a bit of a
big text. Headache and
a bit of a headache and a big text, from the old fly half. Bit of a grey area.
The old Byron Smith, eh?
Yeah, the old Smitty. The old Smitter man.
That's a big one, actually. Byron Smith, now, veering off the whole form, I think you guys probably heard enough jazz about that. That wasn't meant to sound like that. But Byron Smith playing 10, we've seen him in the fullback jersey for Queensland. We've seen him in the fullback jersey for Nudgee before. I'm going to go out there. He's a mate of mine in boarding. He lives 2 doors up. Jesus Christ, he's playing well this season so far. He looks like he's taken almost full control over that Nudgee first side.
Playing with confidence, I'd say. Really playing with confidence. And
a bit of different style compared to other
just
GPS fly halves.
Just eyes up footy. You often find, especially at the first level, the fly halves, they just play structure and just play what the coach wants, whereas you often find the ones that really make it to that next level have the ability to play eyes up footy.
I think, that is what has kind of been noticed. And just on that note with Boz, Byron's nickname, Boz of me only, if you didn't understand the Boz reference there. But what you do, if I'm a shitty Smitty, is that I guess BBC would probably have to be up there with best defenders with Nudgee, alongside Nudgee in the competition last week. Their line speed was like in the grandstand. We're pretty much ripping offside every 2 minutes. Congratulations to those boys. They were getting off the line with speed, shutting down most times, and there was the rare occasion where Rob Toyer looks up, does 2 seconds of footwork, and he gets through. But
exactly right.
Their defense was sound, but even with a team with that much pressure coming on to your playmakers, your players like Willem Johnson, first time we're ever going to talk good of him on the show. Willem Johnson and Byron, for some unknown reason, which it baffles me, it looks like they have that extra 2 seconds on the ball. They have that time to look up and be like,
composed.
Okay, right now I'm going to do a grubber and a backflip, and then I'm going to go score the try, sort of thing. And I think Byron Smith giving that ball to Tony, and then Tony usually putting Toyer in the holes. Yeah, they would I reckon they probably don't understand on the field how much actual time that idiot actually gives him, but he does a great job on the field. He's been doing a great job this season. Yeah.
It'd be interesting. It would have been interesting this weekend, being Monday today, 2 days ago, sorry. It would have been interesting to see how BBC and Nudgee, or how BBC would have backed up from that big heartbreaking loss last weekend.
I think they would have. I don't know. Got lots of mates at Terrace. Yeah. But I reckon they would have gone, not to town, but I reckon they would have had a proper dig.
They would have been fired up.
I don't know if Taj is back yet.
No, I don't know. A bit of a grey area, I think.
Back to the start of the podcast, they lost their spine in that game against Nudgee, and that could have been the complete difference. And I think also, which maybe had been an effect, Nudgee had for so long been prepping their side for having that spine and who to shut down and whatnot. They weren't really prepared to have that bit of change around, which could have eventually worked out in BBC's favour.
And I also think that talking on that spine, Perron was not playing 9,
and he had been holding 9 for
last year. Yep,
and the year before, which means you got a kid.
Yeah.
I don't know who was playing 9, but you got a kid.
Archie McGowan. Yeah,
Archie McGowan, that's his name.
He did. He actually
he played a lot better than I was thinking.
Fair to him, he actually did play quite well.
He played a lot better than I was expecting.
I've heard from
in that game.
few BBC mates that, geez, he was shitting himself prior to that game. But
you seem to feel the boots quite comfortably.
No, he stood up. He did stand up, but just not
good team in the jersey a bit more throughout the season. But I think once again, Nudgy just brought it to him.
Yeah,
exactly. They
too good.
Had that sort of
that sort of oomph about them, you know.
They're ready to go to war. They weren't backing down at any stage, you know.
Exactly.
When you if you saw that defensive effort, in that last 10-15 minutes
on the line,
just going for it. It kind of shows.
I haven't seen anything like it really.
It shows a bit of different heart than other schools.
Does
have been showing in their game, and once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking up the boys, but reason A, B, and C, they are our boys.
They are our boys. Yeah, they are.
So yeah, that's
exactly right.
That's that.
It would have been a definitely something to think about. That game being cancelled against Toowoomba up the range. After that,
it would have been a big decider to see
how
Nudgy would have gone, because we all know Toowoomba did put more points on BBC than Nudgy ended up doing.
Nudgy coming off that big win, a lot of energy, a lot of
and they would have been rooted as well.
Their mind would have been absolutely wrecked during the week, and backing up the range, big trip, would have been interesting to see how they play up at Toowoomba on their home turf.
Well said, and they barely made it to the bloody tunnels. So
I guess onto that, we the third 15
bus.
Third 15 bus.
that was a trip to remember. I think
we jumped on the
a 4-hour journey.
Jumped on the 9 o'clock bus from Nudgy, and head up the range, and I think we're about
at the bottom of the range when we turned around.
About 10 minutes, last turn off before the range, and
So if we kept going before the call was sent through to the teacher on the bus, we would have probably been up the top of the range, I think. Yeah. So we'll probably, I don't know, lucky we got the call, acting like absolute
would have had to stay up there in Toowoomba with a few Toowoomba boys. Freeman,
if you're watching, mate, hello. It'd be good fun to get on the show.
He would,
a couple of country bunkins.
Yeah.
Actually, might be another avenue we can go down. Once again, anyone's welcome on the show. We've just got to make sure you're worthy.
All sizes.
All sizes, so Boydie.
All shapes,
Who knows, mate?
Boydie, Hainsey.
Hainsey. That's a bit rude.
No, that'd be right.
He's tall.
He's tall fella.
So we calling it there? Or
I think that'd be
I think we've hit a couple things there, boys.
Couple things to think about that'll get the mind jogging, and hopefully send us a bit of a message to give us a few ideas.
See how you like it.
What you reckon?
If you reckon it's absolutely shocking, it's a bit non-grouse.
Let us know.
Give us hints and tips. We're not going to be perfect, boys. Our first time giving it a crack.
Definitely.
Hopefully, I don't know if there would have been too many laughs today. There would have been a couple giggles, maybe.
Yeah, a couple of little cheap laughs. Yeah.
But we're going to try and rev them up. We're trying to get these shirts ready probably tonight. Once the video's up there, we'll throw them out on the Instagram.
Yep, and they'll be.
We'll get you DMing us if you're keen, and then after a while, me and Nick are going to buy two probably first.
A couple, to wear on the
see what they're like,
show.
See if we like them, and then after that, probably boys, the bloody sky's the limit. We're just going to keep on going, running with
Only up from here, really.
So yeah, hopefully it's our worst, and we got a lot better to come.
So just a bit of a recap. We had the just the GPS in general, GPS footy. What few DMs? What you think about that? We had the Olympics.
Barely talked about it. One of our big notes down there as well, and we didn't talk anything about it.
Oh well.
Could be something we touch at the end of the Olympics. Who knows? We'll try and get another potty out this week. Hopefully.
We had the formal date situation, the cousins misso, the current misso.
That was a big one.
That was a big one. Bit of time spent on that one. We had the conspiracies. You can send in a few of them. What you reckon about
conspiracies? I reckon we will try and actually designate one to the Madeline McCann. Because I know me and Glassy looked into it proper.
Shout out to Tommy Nye.
Isn't it Tomo?
No, Tommy Nye actually got me onto that one. There's a bit of a mind bender, if you will. But just send in your conspiracies or what you reckon about the the birds and the batteries, the government running them. That's a bit of a...
I doubt we'll get many many DMs on that one.
It's a bit of a tough one.
Who knows? Anyways, boys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, do whatever you do on YouTube. I'll subscribe as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Get on the Instagram page. We're probably going to be way more proactive on that than we will on any other social media platform. Stay grousing and cheers, boys. Thanks for the first one.
Grouse on, eh?
You.